Hey, what's going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another video. I hope you guys are doing really well. Today I'm back for a bit of a topical video. I really wanted to discuss the atmosphere at Carrow Road. I've done a few of these videos kind of before, but not really in depth. The reason I want to talk about it is one, because the atmosphere at Carrow does need to improve, and two, it's a very important part of the season when the players need our help and we need their help. So we need to do our bit, we need to get the atmosphere going, and if you're watching this and you don't usually sing at games, maybe it's the chance to start. So first of all, I wanted to speak to someone who knew more about how to create an atmosphere than me. The guy I went to was Neil Thompson, the sort of guy in control of the Barclay project, along with a few other guys, Tom and a few other people, but he was the man who sort of pushed out Barclay project, and he's the man who I know the Barclay project because of. Now, I spoke to him and he said the main reason the atmosphere isn't good at Carrow Road and is suffering across a whole lot of football clubs and Premier League clubs is because of all of the seats are reserved. You buy your ticket, you get a seat number, that's where you sit. Now, I think this is actually a really good point and one I haven't thought about, because when I was changing my season ticket, I knew I wanted to be in the lower Barclay because I wanted to start being more vocal at games. I'd got to that age where I could, go to the games on my own, have a beer, and sing. And the only seat I could get, there was literally two seats together. I needed two together because me and Chris wanted to sit next to each other or stand, and there were two seats. That is at the bottom of the Barclay in the A block. Now, yeah, it's good. It's near the Snake Pit, front row seats, brilliant. But you've either got the Snake Pit, which is vocal, or the E block of the Barclay. That's the two vocal sections of Carrow Road, really. That's where the vocal fans like to congregate. We're in neither of them. We're kind of stuck in no man's land. We do stand for the majority of the game. The stewards are actually really decent, so big up to any of the stewards if you're watching. I know a few of them do. And the Snake Pit sing and the E block sing, but we're kind of stuck in no man's land. So if I start singing, there might be a few others. I know I've got Tom behind me who's really good, and a couple of others, and Chris obviously gets involved, but it's a bit segregated. So if I was to move, if there was an unreserved seating section, I could go down the pub, maybe with Neil or someone, and the other guys who like to sing, and then we'd have a ticket for the Barclay or a block in general, and then we could rock up and stand wherever we wanted. Kind of like the terrace kind of format where they sell a ticket for that stand. So I know they do it at Cambridge, I know they do it at Peterborough. There are two examples where I've been where it's standing terraces. I'm not saying make the whole lower block a standing terrace, but what I am saying is an unreserved block might be quite cool. So you can just go maybe half an hour before the game, stand with your mates and get the chance going from then. That's a really good thing that you could do. Obviously the safe standing thing is obviously probably the main argument. I really would love to see safe standing. I think is a good idea. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I know that some people might have other arguments because standing can be dangerous, but if done properly, standing can also be more safe because you're not falling over seats and etc. etc. I know I've hurt myself quite a few times at away games when I've celebrated, tripped over a chair, fell over the row in front, bruised and everything. If you had safe standing, that wouldn't be a problem because you'd have bars and you could stand really well. So safe standing might be implemented, but that's kind of out of our control, as is a few of these points, because it's kind of the club and the governing bodies that need to get behind it in order to get this going. So obviously I've talked about the unreserved seating, maybe safe standing. They're out of our control, as well as the likes of pyro, flags, and things like that. I've been to Orlando City where pyro is legal, and it was fantastic, a really great visual effect, and it gets you going as well. When there was pyro at Ipswich away last season, although it was illegal, and I think the guy who let that flare off actually got 6 months in prison. But it's just good. I love flares, although that can be a health issue. So maybe flares isn't a good thing, but flags certainly help. Some of my best atmospheric occasions have been under 21 games with the Barclay project. They let us have flags in there, which was really cool. But obviously then health and safety comes into it again. At the end of the day, if they are regulated and they're not a fire risk and they're not a weapon, there's nothing wrong with flags whatsoever, as long as you're in a group of people who don't mind maybe having their view blocked for sections of the game. I know a lot of people who would be more than happy to move into a block with their mates and people, and they'd love flags and stuff. This is another thing that the club need to look at, and I know the likes of Neil and other fan groups are trying to push this, so let's hope them kind of things go through. The last thing that Neil mentioned was about chants. Just slow them down. Everything seems to be sung at far quicker pace than it should be. Seems like people just want to rush through the songs and then have a break, have a bite of your sausage roll and grab a cup of coffee. Just slow it down and also mix the chants up. There's so many good Norwich City chants and we just seem to sing On the Ball City all the while. Like, yeah, it's a good song, but maybe twice a game, not over and over and over again. Let's get some imagination, guys. We want the players to have imagination, so let's hope that we can help as well. So I went to you guys on Twitter and asked as well, because this isn't just my thoughts, I wanted your guys as well. So Amy Ollie says, we need a reason to cause atmosphere. There needs to be more action on the pitch to be excited about. I think that's kind of a weak argument because, you know, I've been to games in non-league where teams have been losing 5-0 and they've still been chanting. I've been to Orlando when they lost 1-0, they were chanting for the whole 90 minutes. I've been to Cambridge, Peterborough. These standing terraces, these initiatives that get fans, like-minded fans together really helps. Of course, though, when we're playing better on the pitch, the atmosphere is obviously going to be better. Jack says plastic bags. Chris thinks the plastic bags worked. Jurgen, Harry Disco 98 says clappers. No, Harry, not clappers. He did put just kidding, so I'll let him off there. Mark Robertson says scaffolding in the corner with a man and a drum on platform non-stop, then a handful of large flags near the drum. That could work. Drums could work. I think Rob Butler thinks this actually, that drums are really tin pot. I actually think if you get the right sounding drum and use the drum correctly, drums can be really, really good because it's that really loud, bassy sound that congregates everyone and sets the beat, because it's often hard if there's only a couple of you to get a chant started. A drum can really help that. So drums could work. Make the lower Barclay a safe standing area, says Roger Plowman. I think that could work. Obviously, though, the likes of McNally and all of the board have to get behind that first. Chris Parker says standing in the Barclay and Snake Pit drummers, if organised like Germans are, a team that is excited to watch flags and scarves. I think, you know, we've got such vibrant colours. Let's use them. Yellow and green is such a beautiful colour next to each other. Let's get the scarves out. Let's get some flags. But obviously, that's out of our control. John Boy 26 says bigger ground can easily sell out. I think that is in the talks. I know Dave McNally wants to expand the stadium. That's something he said he wanted to do before he leaves the club, whatever that is. Alex Butcher says safe standing in lower tiers, a second tier on the City stand, passion for more areas, especially Gerald and NMP. Look, I don't really get the whole hate towards the NMP stand. I sat in there for 3 years. I loved my time there. The view was great. And the people I sat around, just some of them couldn't stand, but they still turn up to watch their football. I'm not going to have a go at people for not standing because they literally can't stand, whether that be they're too old or whatever. If you want to sit at the game and you want to be quiet, cool, do it. I don't care how you watch your football as long as you enjoy it and as long as you support the team. But what I think would work is have the people who want to sit down in the Gerald or the City stand, and then have the people who want to stand in the Barclay. There was genuinely someone, I think it was against Chelsea, who was moaning at the stewards for us standing in the Barclay. If you don't want to stand, then go to the other 3 stands in the ground where everybody sits. You're obviously going to be disappointed if you want to sit in the Barclay. Like, come on, guys. Alice Walker says, no bloody plastic bags. It did absolutely nothing to the atmosphere but saved me 5p off my next Morrison shop. Happy days, Alice. 5p saved. Thank you very much. Happy days. Alex Murray says, just bin the Gerald stand. Get rid of it. Bit harsh. Irene Alexander says, shields don't make noise. I assume she means like shields of fans, maybe. And she put, clappers are working for Leicester, £12,000 per game for 30,000 fans, or just sing. Clappers, let's rule them out. They're so tin pot, I hate them. Yeah, just sing. But we need things to help us start singing, whether that be congregating fans or flags. I've already talked about it loads. And yeah, most of the comments on Twitter were drums, standing sections, flags, etc. So, Norwich City Football Club, I know you watch some of my videos. Thank you very much if you do. Maybe take some of these into consideration. Let's put them into action. You know, you're always sending out questionnaires saying, what do we want? There's enough fans at this football club who want singing sections, who want a better atmosphere. And it's going to help the club as well. Obviously, better atmospheres create better performances. The players like it more. I don't know, just some options there. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about better atmospheres. I know it can happen. Norwich City fans are loud. I've experienced loud atmospheres at Carrow Road and away from home loads of times. It can happen. We are capable of doing it. So if you're watching this or if you want to send it to someone who maybe doesn't sing but wants to sing, send it to them. Get their suggestions in the comments. And if I see you at Carrow Road, I want to see you singing. I want to see you getting behind the boys. West Brom away this week should be fantastic. Let's get the noise going there. Let's have a good time. Let's have a party. And let's hope Norwich City can do us proud. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. Leave it a like. And I'll see you very soon. Peace out.